Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well. I am Shivani Patnaik and today we are going to study a new chapter from our EVS book, chapter number 20, that is Whose Forests. This chapter is basically about the forest and depicts the lifestyle, struggles and difficulty faced by the tribals through the real story of Suryamani in Jharkhand, as well as we will learn the new methods of farming like jhum cultivation of Mizoram. Children, as you know, forest is a self-sufficient system with natural resources like plants, animals, water, air, etc. Forests are essential for us. They help us in maintaining the balance in the ecosystem. It provides wood, herbs, and many more essential items for us. Even many people around the world depend on the forest for their livelihood. The chapter Whose Forest is a true story of Suryamani Bhagat. She is an activist with Save the Forest of Jharkhand movement. She is a girl star. Have you heard the word girl star? Yes. Girl Star is basically a project which tells extraordinary talks of ordinary girls who have changed their life by going to school. So children, let us start the chapter. Daughter of the Jungle. Look at the picture. Where do you think these children are off to with their little bundles on their sticks? When you find out, you too would want to go with them. Yes, you can see in the picture some children are going somewhere. When you come to know where these children are going, you too would want to go with them. The children are going to the forest. There they jump, run, climb trees and sing songs in their language called Kuduk. They are small children just like you. They are jumping, running, climbing trees, singing songs in the forest. And do you know they are singing songs in their own language, that is Kuduk. Have you heard the word Kuduk? Yes, it is a special community of people who live in forest. The language they speak is called Kuduk. Here in the forest, they pick the fallen flowers and leaves to weave them into necklaces. They enjoy the wild fruits. Wild fruits, have you seen? Yes, like berries, etc. They look for birds whose calls they imitate. Joining them in all this fun is their favorite Didi, Suryamani. So students, in the story, we will know more about Suryamani Didi. Okay, every Sunday, Suryamani takes the children to the forest. As they move around, she shows them how to recognize the trees, the plants and animals. This is a special class for them. Suryamani asks them to recognize the trees, plants and animals. Why? Because forest is a home for them and they should know each and everything about their home. Okay? Children enjoy this special class in a forest. Suryamani always says to learn to read the forest is as important as reading books. She says we are forest people, Adivasis. Children, do you know what do you mean by Adivasis? Adivasis are those people who are living in the forest from ancient time. Our lives are linked to the forest. If the forests are not there, we too will not remain. Yes, they are totally dependent on the forest. Okay. Now Suryamani says, if the forests are not there, we too will not remain. So children, let us discuss few questions. Okay. Are you ready? What do you think is a forest? Yes, forest is a large area thickly covered with varieties of trees. It is home to different animals, insects and birds. Okay, tell me, if someone grew lots of trees close to each other, would this become a forest? No, this would not become a forest because a forest is more than thick green cover. Now children, find out and write. Other than trees, what all is there in a forest? Yes, apart from trees, there are different types of animals, insects and birds in a forest. Okay, tell me, do all forests have similar type of trees? How many trees can you identify? Different forests have different types of trees. I can identify some trees like peepal, banyan, neem, etc. But I know you can identify more than this. Now Suryamani says, if the forests are not there, we too will not remain. Why so? Yes, because forests are essential for us. They help in maintaining the balance of the environment. Green plants absorb harmful gases and release oxygen. Forests provide wood, herbs, many raw materials for us. Many tribal communities depend on forest for their livelihood. Hence, Suryamani is right in her statement. Now let's move to the next paragraph. Growing up, Suryamani loves the forest since she was a child. She would not take the direct road to school but would choose the path through the forest. Yes, she was living since her childhood there and she won't use the direct road to school. The simplicity of the forest attracts her. That's why she chose the path through the forest. Suryamani's father had a small field. Her family used to collect leaves and herbs from the forest and sell these in the bazaar. Bazaar means market. Okay? And they used to sell these things for their livelihood. Her mother would weave basket from bamboo or make leaf plate out of the fallen leaves. Have you seen the wooden baskets or bamboo baskets or leaf plates? Yes, I hope you have seen. Her mother used to do these things. But now no one can pick a single leaf from the forest. But why so? Let's see. That is since Sambhu the contractor came here. Have you heard the word contractor? Yes, I know you have heard. But let me tell you few things about contractor. Okay? Contractor is a person appointed by government or private firm. They cut trees and use the materials of the forest and sell them in the market and get a huge sum of money. Now this contractor is not allowing any of the villagers to enter the village or pick a small leaf from the forest. The people of Suryamani's village were afraid of the contractor, because Sambhu the contractor is not permitting any of the villagers to enter the forest. Everyone except Budhya Mai, she would say, we the people of the forest have the right over it. We look after our forest. We don't cut trees like these contractors do. The forest is like our collective bank, not yours or mine alone. We take from it only as much as we need. We don't use up all the wealth. Yes, collective bank. Collective bank means a bank for everyone of the community who are living near the forest. Now children, Suryamani's father could no longer support the family on the small land. He moved to the town in search of work. As you know, the government has assigned him for this job and this person is not allowing anyone to enter the forest. So it's very hard for the family members who are living near the forest to do farming in a small land. So her father also moved to town in search of a work, but things did not improve. Do you know, sometimes there would be no food in the house. At that time, only her uncle Manya Chacha, who would send some grains from his small shop to her house. Chacha tried hard and got admission for Suryamani in the school in Bishanpur. Here they would not have to pay for the fees, uniform and books. I think it must be a government school. Suryamani would have to stay there and study. Suryamani didn't want to leave her village and forest. But Manya Chacha was firm. He was strict. He gave an order that if you will not study, then you have to go hungry. Chacha tried hard and got admission for Suryamani in the school in Bishanpur. Here they would not have to pay for the fees, uniform and books. You know students, government is providing many facilities to poor people. They need not have to pay for the fees, uniform and books, etc. But one thing is that the children have to stay there and study. Suryamani didn't want to leave her village and forest. Why? Because she has an attachment with her forest. Manya Chacha was firm. If you do not study, what will you do? Here the Chacha is angry with her. He said that if you will not study, then you have to go hungry. But Suryamani would argue, why should I go hungry? The jungle is there to help. Chacha tried to explain, but we are being moved away from our forest. That's why the Chacha wants Suryamani to study hard and know all the rules and laws so that she can protect her forest. Children, as you know, India has a rich source of minerals. Many mines are present in India like iron mines, mineral mines, aluminium mines, etc. So, these mines are placed where? Yes, near the forest. Government is also making many dams. Have you seen dams? Yes, in Odisha we can see Hirakud Dam, Mandira Dam, etc. As government is launching many projects, they are building dams, mines, etc. So people need dams and mines, but they also have to sacrifice something, and that is forest. So in the process of development, the villagers or tribals who are living in the forests, they are moved from one place to another. And Mania Chacha knows very well that one or other day they have to be moved. Okay, so he strictly said Surya Mani that you have to read and then only you will understand the laws and you can protect our forest. Now Surya Mani listened carefully and she was determined to study hard. Now young Surya Mani listened everything and she was determined to study hard, and to save her forest she would do everything. Now children, before moving ahead, there are few questions for you. You have to think and write. The first one is, do you know anyone who loves the forest? Yes, I and my friends love the forest. Next question. The contractor did not allow Surya Mani's people to go into the forest. Why? The contractor may have been in the forest for cutting the trees to sell somewhere. He may not want local people to use forest resources and hence did not allow Surya Mani's people to go into the forest. One more question. Is there any place around your area which you feel should be open to everyone, but where people are not allowed to go? Yes, there is a lake in my town. I have heard that for some security reason people are not allowed to go near that lake. I think it should be open to everyone. Who do you think the forest belongs to? That means who is the owner of forest? Do you know children? No one is the owner of the forest. The forest belongs to everyone because people always depend on forest for their livelihood. Now next, Budhyamai said, forest is our collective bank, not yours or mine alone. Are there other things which are our collective wealth? So if someone uses more, everyone would suffer. Yes, there are some other things which are our collective wealth. Some examples are as follows. Number 1 is groundwater. Number 2, fish in the rivers and seas. Number 3, minerals. And number 4 is fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum. Now moving ahead to next paragraph. Surya Mani's journey. Surya Mani was filled with joy on seeing the school at Bhishanpur. The school was near a thick forest. I think that's why she is happy, because there is a forest near her school. Surya Mani studied hard and passed her BA after getting a scholarship. Do you know children, Surya Mani is the first person of that village who has studied hard, studied BA and got a scholarship. She was the first girl in the village to do this. Children, do you know Surya Mani met Wasavi Didi at her college, and Surya Mani soon joined her to work for the Jharkhand Jangal Bachao Andolan, that means movement to save the forest of Jharkhand. This work took Surya Mani to far off town and cities. Being a girl, she has to travel from one place to other, and her father did not like this. But Surya Mani continued her work. Not only that, she also started to fight for the rights of the village people, because she is the only educated person in that whole village. Okay? And she knows all the rights and laws of the people. Her childhood friend Bijoy helped her in this work. Surya Mani had another friend Mirchi who stayed with her day and night. Do you know children, Surya Mani had another friend? Yes, Mirchi, who stayed with her day and night. Surya Mani would share all her thoughts and dreams with Mirchi, and Mirchi would listen and say Kiki. Why? Because Mirchi is a parrot. Surya Mani had a dream for her Kuduk community. She wanted all her people to feel proud of being Adivasis. because Suryamani knew that being an Adivasi is not a matter of shame. It is a proud thing for them as they have contributed in each and every field for the development of nation. Now students, let us discuss some more questions. Do you have a friend with whom you can share everything? Yes, I have a friend with whom I share everything. So next question for you. What do you know about how Adivasis live? Write and draw a picture. Adivasis live a very simple life. They wear simple clothes. During their traditional festivals, they wear costumes made of leaves and flowers. They depend on forest products for their livelihood. They collect firewood from forest and take their cattle into forest for grazing. They make useful articles from leaves, wood and bamboo. They have very good knowledge of medicinal herbs. Children, you can also draw some pictures or things which these people used to make. Next one, do you have an Adivasi friend? What have you learnt about the forest from her? Yes, I have an Adivasi friend. She reads in my class. I have learnt many things about forest from her. I can identify many trees which were unknown to me earlier. I have learned the method of preparing manure from fallen leaves. I also know that many useful items which can be made from bamboos and dry leaves. Now moving ahead, we will see Suryamani's Torang. Suryamani was 21 when she opened a center with the help of Vasavi Didi and others. She called it Torang, which means jungle in the Kuduk language. At the age of 21, Suryamani opened a center for the community of their people. She called it Torang. Why? Because in Kuduk language, Torang means jungle. Suryamani wanted that on festivals, people should sing their own songs. They should not forget their music and should enjoy wearing their traditional clothes. In Torang means that center, she wanted all her people to sing their own songs. In the festival, they should dance, they should wear all their traditional clothes, etc. Children should also learn about herbs, medicines and the art of making things from bamboo. In this center, children are being taught about the herbs, medicines and other things which are provided to them by the forest. They also learn the art of making things from the bamboo. Children should learn the language of school but must link it with their own language. Yes, in the school, children should learn Hindi, English, etc. But they should never forget their own language. All this happens in the Torang Center. Many special books about the Kuruk community and other Adivasis have been collected. Apart from Kuruk community, literature of other Adivasis communities have been collected there. Flutes and different types of drums are also kept there. In that center, you can find many types of drums like nagada, tasa, flutes and other musical instruments. Whenever something is unfair or if someone is afraid that his land and livelihood would be taken away, they turn to Suryamani. So the uneducated villagers, when they need help, they directly go to Suryamani. And Suryamani helps them a lot. Suryamani fights for everyone's right. Suryamani and Bijoy have got married and work together. Today their work is praised by many people. She is invited even to the other countries to share her experiences. People of her area are also raising their voice for a new forest law. So finally, Suryamani and her childhood friend Bijoy got married and they both are working together. Their work is praised by many people, not only in the country but also across the country. She is invited to other countries. Why? To share her experience, to share her journey from childhood till now. So students, we have come to the end of the first part of the chapter Whose Forest. Before binding up, let us discuss some more questions. Children, have you heard Right to Forest Act 2007? Yes, this is a government act which was enacted in 2007, in which people who have been living in the forest for at least 25 years have a right over the forest land and what is grown on it, and they should not be removed from the forest because they are living there since 25 years. So they have all rights over the forest land and the things which are grown there. So they can stay there and use all the products of the forest, and they have got right not to be moved from that forest. Now children, do you know of anyone who works to save forest? Yes, there is a person in my neighborhood who runs an NGO. His NGO works for protection of forest. Next, what is your dream? What will you do to make your dream come true? I want to become an architect. I will work hard for making my dream come true. This is only an example. If you have your own dream, you can write yourself. The next question, collect reports about forests from newspapers. Did you find any news about how cutting down of forest affects the weather? How? Yes, I could find many news about how cutting down of forest affect the weather. I have read that cutting down of forest leads to less than normal rainfall in the area. This leads to a prolonged summer. In Torang, Suryamani does a lot to keep the Kuduk music, dance and traditions alive. Would you like to do something like this for your community? What would you like to keep alive? Yes, I also want to do some useful thing for my community. I want to keep the traditional painting style of my community alive. So children, if you want to contribute something for your community, you can write here. Now children, few more questions. Is there any factory or some construction work going on in and around your area? What type of work? Yes, lot of construction activity is going around near my area. A new flyover is under construction. Next one, due to the factory, is there any effect on the trees and the land? Have the people in that area raised this issue? Yes, there is a power plant in a particular area in my town. Lot of smoke and dust keep on coming from the factory. Most of the trees have become lifeless because of this. Now people from that area have started raising their voices against the factory. Now children, there is an activity for you. Look at the map and write. Yes, this is a map of India. The map shows areas with very thick forest and those with less thick forest. So you can identify the thickness of the forest by different color, and those different colors are present in the map. The dark green shows very thick forest and light green shows less thick forest. Now children, read and tell. Sikya, a class 10 girl in Odisha, wrote a letter to the Chief Minister. Read a part of the letter. So children, just now we read about Suryamani. Now we will read about Sikya. And who is Sikya? Yes, a class 10 girl in Odisha. She wrote a letter to Chief Minister. Now we will read a part of her letter. A forest is everything for us Adivasis. We can't live away from the forest, even for a day. Government has started many projects in the name of development. Dams and factories are being built. Forests which are ours are being taken away from us. Because of these projects, we need to think where the forest people will go and what will happen to their livelihood. Where will the lakhs of animals living in the forest go? If there are no forests and we dig out our lands for minerals like aluminium, what will be left? Only polluted air, water and miles of barren land. So children, in this letter, Sikya has expressed her feelings to Chief Minister. In this letter, she wants to say that due to development and the projects, the forest peoples, animals, etc. are suffering a lot. If this will continue, then one day only polluted air, water and barren land will be left. So government should take strict action towards this and protect the forest as well as forest people. So students, till now we have completed one part of the chapter. There are some more interesting facts about this chapter which we will discuss in our next class. Till then, take care, keep smiling and be safe. And please focus on your studies. Thank you.